Hello, welcome back to Final Fantasy VIII Remastered commentary playthrough. We've arrived to the fourth disc. So these are going to be the closing chapters of the game from here on out. If you continue from here, after the battle with Cypher, this is your last opportunity now in order to leave Lunatic Pandora and visit all the towns and get any kind of side quest you want out of them at this point. Because once we continue from here, there is no going back. So we do have an upcoming boss fight to start off this, the disc, and it's going to be against Sorceress Adel. Come up here for a break draw point if you need it. Adel isn't very hard to deal with, and if you use Move Find right here in this area, you'll get a save point. So if you want to save right before the entrance here, that's fine, go ahead and do so. Heal up as necessary. So Adel has the basic magics of fire, thunder, and blizzard. If you're at higher levels, it'll be, the August spells, and that's it for the draw list. So she's got nothing really to draw from. We do have all the GFs, so there's really no point in drawing anymore, unless you're just trying to get back magics that you lost. And for this fight, what I would suggest is definitely be able to have the ability to absorb magic, because this is a sorceress fight, so that's all she's going to do. Defend against, the worst status ailments you can, death, confuse, stuff like that. Whatever you're more worried about. You can use Drain on her. Even though I think she's immune, I don't know, we'll have to see. It's been a while since I fought her. And then, mostly though, you really do want to have, protection against magic. So make sure your spirit's high. And, like I said with this stuff, if you had any of your elemental attacks from the last battle with the mobile type 8, take that off. It's not going to help us here. As for abilities, you do want to have Mug on one of your characters. At this point, you can have Mug on 2 characters if you got Bahamut and Diablos. I'm going to switch Squall over to Mug. Auto Shell would probably be a better situation here, since she does magic. And after the Adel fight, there is going to be a lot of magic type enemies after this. So just keep up, your best defensive stats towards magic. And then with Zell, we can go ahead and put, let's see. Auto Reflect wouldn't be too bad of an idea, actually. Just got to be wary that in this first phase against Adel, she's going to have Renoa attached to her, and the point of it is to keep Renoa alive while fighting Adel, which isn't too hard. You just gotta, use Recover, Kiragas, anything you can, Regen on Renoa to keep her alive during the battle. But Reflect can, if a magic gets reflected back at her, it has a chance of hitting multi-target, or it can hit just Adel or just Renoa, so you probably don't want that in here. I would go with probably Spirit, depending on your builds. And then with the GFs, they've learned everything, so there's no point in checking that anymore. We will go ahead and do this. So make sure you have Recover. some type of way to revive your characters in case you fall in battle, mug, and of course somebody with the ability to cast magic, because if you're able to hit Adel with Meltdown, you'll reduce her vitality to 0 and you're going to be doing a lot of damage on her. So pretty easy fight. The only thing that makes this difficult is hard is trying to keep Renoa alive, because she will drain Renoa of her HP in order to do attacks against us. And then with that, once you're all set, give it one good final save. And you'll see that the save point disappeared because Move Find is no longer on me. And we'll let the cutscenes play out here. Now from Renoa, she go ahead and cast Region on Renoa here. Right now, all we really want to do is make sure that Renoa's not going to drop HP here. Keep one party member in reserve in case you need to start healing people, or if you need to cast Dispel on Adel if she casts something like Haste on herself. That'll be her strongest move. So once you got the Samantha Soul, that is basically, she drops nothing from her regular drop pool, which is kind of weird since this is, like a mega boss right now. And the mug list only has Samantha Soul. So you can get 3 of those from refining the quest discard, but just get a free one here. And then go ahead and just eliminate her from here. Just hit Adel with Meltdown, and then proceed to attack away. Obviously, don't use, a GF or anything, because they are going to hit Renoa too. That's the whole point of this fight, is to make you think. Extremely easy fight when we're this powerful, So at this point in the game, we have decided that we are going to be continuing, so that was it. We're no longer going to be able to go back to the main world in the way that we have been the entire game so far. Just make sure you heal up after that battle. You took some damage. The new item, Samantha Soul, that we got teaches the GF some magic plus 40%. A lot of them only stop at 30, so it's pretty powerful if you're using GFs through the entire game. But you'll see they usually stop at 30% by themselves. Some of the higher level GFs like Bahamut will probably learn 40 on his own. But for the most part, all these guys usually learn just up to 30. So if you have a favorite GF you're spamming, go ahead and use that on it. But I would suggest probably holding on to Samantha Souls for refinement, because it's actually pretty useful for some good items. So a literal spam of save points here. Now, what you want to do is the same thing. Just be prepared for a lot of magic attacks. That's what's going to happen. Things that you want to kind of protect against are, the things that take control of your character away from you. So defend against Berserk, Confusion, Sleep, anything like that. If it's truly bothersome type of status ailment that you don't want to deal with. The enemy at the end of this little Sorceress gauntlet that we're about to enter really has nothing of value to steal. So you can keep Mug on Squall, it doesn't matter. There's nothing valuable to be gained out of these fights. We're just going to enter a giant gauntlet of Sorceresses, and they're really easy to defeat. The final one is it can be difficult if you're not ready for it. It'll do a countdown, kind of like Bahamut does with his Mega Flare, but she's going to cast Ultima. I'm not really worried about Ultima right now because we are highly defensed against magic as it is, so it's not going to do that much damage. But it does have stuff that you might want to draw from it in the last moment, so go ahead, and have draw attached to all your characters. And other than that, just be ready for, a whole bunch of fighting. Hopefully nothing goes crazy with it. If it does, this is your next save point. Now, I kept the save point back in Disc 3 just in case I wanted to go back and, do other things or whatever. So make sure you have this option of being able to go backwards, because from here on out, we don't have access to any more of the towns. And then once you're happy, go ahead and sit. Yeah, a lot of weird things are going to happen from here on out. So you'll see the sorceresses actually just have basic magic, things that we've already seen plenty of up to this point. The battles are going to shift from all over the place where we've been at. You see that they are affected by drain, so there's no risk of losing any HP here. It's really, really easy to do. So these are the basic variants of these sorceresses. There's going to be another version of them that drops down. They're just a little bit stronger, but, real easy to defeat still. So here's one of them. These ones carry haste and double. And here's the big boss Sorceress, like a weird snake thing here. So she's always going to do this counterattack every time you attack her, which makes her kind of dangerous. And Ultima will spam here. So you see, not too bad of damage, honestly. That move, though, it can wipe you out if you're not ready for it. While she's in the countdown phase, she's not going to counterattack you. So take that time to kind of whoop up on her. And this is how random Gilgamesh is. So he'll like spawn into battle at any point. He doesn't have to start from the beginning. He can be any time. So obviously this creature's, you know, resistant to death. That's why that didn't happen, right? Honestly, just an annoying fight because you have to deal with, you know, the Ultima. If you can put out a lot of damage, the reason why Irvine was taking so much damage though was because one of those other sorcerers had Meltdown attached to him. But it's pretty manageable, to be honest. I just rather chose to play it a little bit more defensively there. From here, go ahead and go up. You're just trying to get through a little, you know, Adia's house here. This illusion will disappear. So there's no going back. We are now forced forward. Triple draw point there if you need it. Now you see all these, the white seeds are dead. You know, they tried to fight off Ultimecia and failed. So now it's on to us to do it. So these portals here will bring you back to the overworld, right? So all you gotta do is kind of stand in the spot, spam X, and then once you go in there, you'll see that we arrive back to our, you know, our old places here. And this is actually something I wanted to do anyway. So we'll take this off for now. And we are back, you know, in the missile base area. You open up your map, you'll be able to see everything still. You come over here though, and you'll see Delling City is now covered with this magical barrier. So we will no longer be able to enter towns from here on out. And this is it. Now what you can do though, is if you didn't go get brothers, like early in the game, disc 1 type stuff, you can actually go back into the Tomb of the Unknown King. And dungeons like this will always be open, no matter what. So the Deep Sea Research Lab, the Tomb of the Unknown King, you know, just to name a few, are dungeons that will still be accessible, so you can go get those GFs if, you know, you chose to wait till disc 4 to put them off. No reason for Brothers. Brothers was very easy to get in the beginning of the game, but, you know, not everyone has a thing for these turn-by-turn games. And you're essentially free to explore, you know, it's as much, if you remember what the world outline looks like, then go ahead and explore the world as much as you want. Just remember where those little teleportation devices are at. You don't want to lose track of the gateway. So this one's pretty easy. If you just remember the Galbadian missile base, it'll be stuck here in this corner. But I'm actually going to make a long run around because I wanted to get something before I forgot. I'm going to take care of Questus' blue magic stuff. You cross the bridge, come over here. You'll recognize this area. This is Timber. So Timber is also covered up. Follow the road right this way. And we're in Dalit now. So Dalit is also covered up. But what I wanted to do was come down here to fight these Adamantoise turtles. At high levels, the Adamantoise turtles will have Whisper as a mug. So go ahead and put mug on any one of your characters. And then you just want to run into one of these dudes. If you get those, run. Or fight them. It's up to you. And this is what we wanted. If we draw from them, they got some pretty good magics. Nothing that we really need. So 3 Whispers is plenty. And if you defeat these things in straight up combat, they'll actually give you the adamantine that I was talking about earlier. And this is pretty much what they'll do. They'll do that the entire time. They'll just be really hard to kill and take down. Ways to mitigate this is just to cast Meltdown on one of them. Unfortunately, Meltdown's not taking place here. So the higher level ones will drop these orichalcons. It's actually pretty good that we got these. It's a good move. I mean, you can buy them from the shop too, though. Not a big deal. But what I needed was the White Wind, so I can teach Questus or Whisper for the White Wind. So now Questus is only missing one more ability, which is Missile. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to. I just had bad RNG luck at the Galbadia prison. Those blue robots that you fight are supposed to drop an item that allows her to learn Missile, so I could have gotten that back in Disc 2, but they just never dropped for me, so you'll have to do it in the second wave because there's no way to spawn those blue robots anymore at this point. And luckily it's not too hard to do. Counter no. So if you stay down here, battle these Adamantoise turtles, you'll end up pulling those Whispers, the Orichalcons, and some Adamantine, which Adamantine can be used for a lot of things in the endgame. Specifically, we want Adamantines to create the ability to have auto-protect for all of our characters. Now, there's an easier way to do that, though, so we're not battling those things and hoping that they drop Adamantines every single time, and that's through the use of the card refinement for the Minotaur card. Now, you're probably saying, okay, well, we used the Minotaur card in order to get the Adamantines for the ultimate weapons, so what can we do now? Well, if you did the CC group back in Valam Garden, the little card collection guys, they will actually be inside of the Ragnarok ship, which you can get back if you know how to do it. So we can't do it from here, but I'm going to showcase that in another area. So we'll come to this middle one, and you'll see that we're in the Centra area. The teleporter will lead you straight over here to the Centra ruins, which will allow you to go get Odin and Tonberry King if you save them for this late game stuff. But we took care of that back in Disc 2, so there's no point worrying about it right now. And we are going to eventually want to get the Ragnarok back in order to get the missile thing that I'm needing. Let's see if there's a forest around here. Alright. So in the Centra area, if you go into the forest around here, you'll have a chance of pulling Deathclaw enemies. And they are the second enemy in the game that will drop these things, but you have to mug them. That's the only caveat to this. They have to be at least level 30 plus, and you need to mug them. That's how you're going to pull Missile off of these guys. Now, if you run into a Grand Mantis, go ahead and fight it or whatever you want to do. I generally just run at this point. It's kind of a rare spawn in these forests, so it could take a while to get. That's the first time encountering a Blitz enemy. So, they just thunder. So that's where you can counter those dudes. swear, it's like every single Final Fantasy game, if they know what you're trying to do, they will not give you it. Yeah, rarest spawn you can get is a Ruby Dragon here. And you can actually pull those very early game too. There we go. So that's the Deathclaw enemy that we want. Well, we don't want to outright kill it, so. But then again. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. So unfortunately, we grabbed his sheer feathers instead of the missile. Missile is his rare or very rare item that he gives. So you'll have to probably stick around here for a little bit and hope to pull it off of it. I actually don't want to gain any more levels because we're good right here. This is kind of what you want. You don't want to be a multiple of 5s when you enter Ultimecia's castle, because a lot of the things in there like to cast level 5 death, so try to avoid it as much as you can. Probably gonna have to change something up here. Oh, this guy. Well, anyway, I'm gonna stick around here and go ahead and farm those dudes up until I can get them to drop a missile for me. So hopefully you don't have to do this part and you know, the missile drop actually happened for you back in Galvadia District Prison. And after that, I'll return and we will go into Ultimecia's castle and begin the end game content there. There's a whole lot of a bunch of boss fights are about to happen. And Ultimecia's castle has like this little gimmick inside of it too, which is kind of annoying, to be honest, but we'll get through it pretty easily. No problems there. So we are approaching endgame pretty fastly. A few things I need to do, though, are the Chocobo side quest, which is going to take some time, and then we're going to get all the cards, and I'll show how we get, you know, the Ragnarok shit back while we're in this 4th disc. And then we'll tackle Ultimecia's castle after all that's completed. So next couple episodes are probably going to be about Chocobos and cards. And then after that, the actual castle stuff. So we're getting there. We're almost done. But thanks for watching. See you in the next one.